Hello, everybody, and welcome to probably one of my more controversial live streams or episodes of my show. And as you see from the title, it states why I believe Jets fans should have no problem with Tyrod Taylor as our starting quarterback next year. Um, for starters, if you disagree with me, that's fine, but do not attack me because if you do, you will be banned. So that's just fair warning. But more importantly, the reason why I think because one, he's not a bad player. He's not an embarrassment. He's had some success as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Case in point with the Buffalo Bills from 2015 to 2017, especially in 2017, where he helped put an end to the Buffalo Bills playoff drought. And Tyrod, look, I get he hasn't played a full season. He has yet to stay healthy for a whole season. He at times plays a little too conservatively. I get it, but let's look at the positives. One, he has great work ethic. Two, he has great leadership. Three, he's a great guy in the locker room. He's a great team player. And three, he's a good person inside and out in the community. People say that don't mean much, but it matters. He's a good guy to look up to if you're a young player. And in terms of his football skills, he has an excellent arm, has an excellent deep ball that was very accurate, that was very precise, and he's very athletic and mobile. I'll never forget in the game against the Tennessee Titans in 2015. We're on a 3rd and 23. He picked it up with his legs, not with his arm, with his legs. Don't believe me? Watch it. It's incredible. But here's the number one reason why I think we should accept Tyrod as our starting quarterback for the 2025 season. Because the Aaron Rodgers experiment failed. Was it all on Aaron Rodgers? No. Most of it was on our coaching staff, but let's be for real. Aaron Rodgers did contribute to the losing. Plus, he's also a diva. Let's be for real, he's a freaking diva. There were times throughout the game, once we traded for Devontae, there were times where Aaron Rodgers kept force feeding him the ball. And we're like, what the hell, Aaron? Give it to Garrett. Give it to somebody else other than Devontae. That to me was just wrong. But, if you look at Aaron Rodgers statistically, yeah, he completed more than 60% of his passes. He threw 28 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, and he threw for almost 4,000 yards. Impressively, but there were times where he did not pass the eye test. Granted, there were some games where he looked like vintage Aaron Rodgers, i.e., the New England Patriots game on Thursday Night Football, where he looked like, holy shit, is Aaron Rodgers back? Holy crap. And, he was inconsistent last year. Yes, I know he was recovering from an Achilles, but still, he wasn't really consistent last year. Well, let's be for real about that. He really wasn't consistent. That's a fact, not an opinion. Now, while Tyrod Taylor may not be as flashy or may not be as accomplished as the perfect bridge quarterback. For real, granted, the Bills traded him to Cleveland. Of course, they eventually drafted Josh Allen, who has turned out to be a huge hit for them. Whether you like him or not, it's the goddamn truth. But, he took over the starting job, but once he got hurt, of course, it happened to be against us. Baker Mayfield took over, and the rest was history. Then he goes to the Chargers. And to be a mentor of Justin Herbert. Granted, he gets hurt. Justin Herbert takes over. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Okay? When he went to Houston in 2021, they didn't have that great offensive line. They had some players, but they didn't have a great offensive line. I always felt that Tyrod Taylor throughout his entire career in the end as a player in the NFL, other than when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, even though he was mostly a backup to Joe Flacco there, when he started, he didn't really play behind an all around solid offensive line. I look at this New York Jet team, at this New York Jet team, we have a potential franchise left tackle in Olu Fashanu. We have a really solid left guard in John Simpson. We have a rising star at center in Joe Tipman. And we have a really solid right guard who can also play tackle in Elijah Tucker. Now, granted, all we need is a right tackle. Hopefully, the Jets re-sign him. But with that being though, okay, with that being said though, we re-sign Morgan Moses or get a tackle. What we need to do is give him some more weapons. Because what we need to do is, I don't think Devontae's going to stay, but we'll see what the hell happens. We need another tight end. Hopefully, we draft Tyler Warren. We need another wide receiver to complement Garrett, like a T. Higgins, or let's see, who else is a free agent? Excuse me. I'm not saying he should be the definitive before anyone jumps down my throat. What I mean is, what I meant to say was, that's what I meant trying to say is that I'm not saying he's definitely going to be our starting quarterback, but if he does become it, we shouldn't have a problem with it because he's a good player. He's not a great player, but he's good and he's a good person in the locker room and in the community. He's a good locker room guy. He's a good teammate. He's a good person. And he's a good mentor too. He could be a good role model for the young players. Plus, I do agree with JT here. Even though it was mostly in garbage time, when he played very well. So Tyrod could still play, man. He could still play. And I know a lot of people. I'm not saying he should be the number one starting quarterback on this team. I personally would want him to, but would I like someone to compete with him? Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I'm not saying he should definitely be, without no questions asked, the starting quarterback for the Jets this upcoming season. But what I am saying is that if he does be, I should have been. I can only put in 100 words in the damn title. But what I meant to say was he's had some success, and plus look at the team around him. He can still throw the football very well, very accurately, very precisely, and he has an excellent deep ball. He probably has just as good as a deep ball as Russell Wilson. That's just my opinion. But as I said, he's to piss off Garrett Wilson. I think we have the chance. I'm not saying on their Tyrod we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not that delusional. Hell, I'm not delusional at all. But I do think we could be a competitive team with Tyrod considering the talent we have around us, around the team. Especially on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously we need to completely complete the offensive line. We need to add some more receivers. We need to get a tight end. We need to run the football better, so forth. And defensively, we need to get our shit together. That is 100%. We need to get hopefully we need better kickers. We need more consistent from the kicking game for the field goals and extra points, stuff like that. Our punting game is fine. I love Thomas Morstead. He's very, very good. But in terms of our personally, I would want Tyrod Taylor to be our starting quarterback, but that's just me. Okay. Of course, I do 100%. But oh God, excuse me. But the bottom line is that Tyrod is not Jamarcus Russell. He's not Matt Leinart. He's not Jay Cutler. He's a damn bona fide, very good player. He's 6 to 7 years younger than Rodgers. But over the fact that we didn't bring back Rodgers. And I can understand that to a degree because he was one of my favorite players growing up. Look, I loved Aaron Rodgers growing up. I loved watching him kick ass playing the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers for so many years. All right, how's everyone doing? All right. So listen, I get it. Aaron Rodgers was great. But we have to accept the fact that the experiment failed. If we don't, we're idiots. I was on board with it because of Aaron Rodgers' history and legacy. But it obviously failed because A, the injury, two, the coaching staff was atrocious, and to the coaching staff was abysmal. So hopefully, um, with this new coaching staff, which I do have more confidence in than I did the last one, trust me on that. I think we will be better. I think we'll be more competitive. I think we'll be better prepared. Look, I understand he can't stay, and I do agree with this. He just can't stay healthy. But I don't think he had a all around good offensive line to keep him healthy. The only time he had a good offensive line was when he was in Baltimore. Even though he was mostly a backup with that franchise, he, you know, more account. That's what I think is going to happen under Coach Glenn. I agree with you 100%, Gary K. I do. I do agree with that. We're going to get more accountability under Aaron Glenn. Now, in terms of now, obviously Devontae Adams, I think is going to be a big question mark moving forward because he's a great player, future Hall of Famer, but we don't know if he's going to stay with us or not for another year or so. He may want to play with Aaron Rodgers. He may want to reunite with Derek Carr. Who the hell knows? He may want to go to a contender. Who the hell knows? But as far as I am concerned, I do hope he stays with us. But if Tyrod Taylor does somehow play most of the year healthy and puts up similar, if not a little bit better numbers than he did back in 2015, where he threw for 33,035 yards, completed roughly 64% of his passes, threw 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, ran for nearly 570 yards, scored 5 or 6 touchdowns, and we're competitive, we're competent on offense. We don't really turn the ball over. We make smart decisions, and we're in playoff contention. I'd be very happy. I'm not asking for a Super Bowl championship. I'm asking for competence and accountability. I know I would like a Super Bowl too, Gary K, but right now let's settle for making the playoffs before we even think about a damn Super Bowl. Is Jake on right now? Let's see. But right now, so let's see if Jake is on right now. Let's see if Jake is on. Hmm. Oh, he's not up yet? He's not on yet? Hmm. So Jake won't be on for a while. Okay, that's good. So I don't take people away from Jake. But anyway, um, I really personally, I would like Tyrod to be the starter, but I also would like someone to be compete with him for the job. So, um, that's all I really want to say. Um, you guys can talk about it more in the comment section. Please be civil, and that's all I'm gonna say. Peace out.